Some years ago, I remember there was a bit of a debate going on in our church because a lot of people were finding it increasingly difficult to kneel when they come forward for communion. And just a wonderful elderly retired priest said, "I don't see why we have a problem with standing. We forget that we are people of the resurrection and that is how we come to God Sunday after Sunday." It's very easy for us to forget that we are people of the resurrection and to concentrate a lot on the cross. And of course, without the cross, there is no resurrection. And yet, we're also very uncomfortable with letting things die so that new things can happen. So as we are fast approaching the Easter season, that's something that we would really like to think about and for us to reflect upon in our practice. How often are we really willing to know it's time to let something die so that some new growth, new life can happen in its place?
Yeah, I know that for me, I'm always thinking about the new thing and wanting to start something new, but sometimes I just push myself beyond my capacity for that. And when I really think about it and reflect on it, that, you know, we've only got enough for a certain amount of things. And sometimes you have to be really open to saying what's coming to the end of its season. We can see stopping something as being a sign of failure, that, you know, that thing hasn't worked, or that, you know, we are somehow having to admit defeat with things, rather than recognizing that, as it says in scripture so often, that there is seasons that we need to adhere to. And sometimes something that was really good and really flourishing and was really growing and developing disciples in the past, maybe that time is coming to an end, and we have to allow that thing to naturally go by the wayside in order for a new thing to happen. But that's tough for us to do, and being able to be those people that can critically examine what's going on to allow that to happen is a really difficult process to go through.
You might have noticed that we are far from our usual setting for creating one of our videos. We're actually sat here in the beautiful chapel at Prinesh Abbey, where on the walls, really beautifully depicted are the stations of the cross, which I know is not everybody's tradition, but they're done in such beautiful line drawings here that they're really, really worth visiting and reflecting on. And it's a reminder that as we move through Holy Week again this year, all of human emotion, just about all of human encounter is present during that week. And it really is an opportunity for us to travel that journey and our own personal journey with Jesus, and to think about our ministry and where all those different aspects of Holy Week feature. I would recommend to you a visit up to this chapel just to spend some quiet and reflective time if you have that gift of time to do that. I'm sure that we will be here again at some point this summer with a quiet day, so do look out for that date and that opportunity to be here. But if you get the chance beforehand, do come and pay them a visit. We've been very cheeky and turned the lights on as well, which you are able to do. But it is a beautiful space to reflect in. So whatever spaces are afforded to you during this, the rest of Lent and during Holy Week and Easter, we hope that you are blessed by it in your ministry.
Yeah, and as we go through that period of reflection and time through Lent, then we do encourage you to think about those things that maybe God's calling you to lay down, to not be frightened of that. And if that's something that we can help you process and think through and sometimes communicate to those others around you in your churches, then do let us know. It's not an easy process, it can be a painful process, but it's something that is part of who we are as people of both the resurrection but also of the crucifixion.